difficulties for our third podcast. We're still
We
working out
back
the
live?
bugs on it. I believe we're back live. We're gonna see. My moderator is about to jump back in. Shout out Hassan. He is the best. He keeps it real. He will stick with us the whole hour podcast. But yeah, we're just gonna rehash some of the things we just said. I mean, we were right on there, right on the cliff of some very important topics we were trying to work through and trying to just bide our time for these about 50 something days we have to wait for this game when this should be able to drop May 29th. No problems. Right, Ende? What do you think about that?
Exactly. Yeah, I think they've got it. They got to drop it now. There's no, I mean, with all these leaks and spoilers, you know.
I know
no,
personally, I told you this off camera, but I'm going to tell you it again. I know that I got my pre-order put in. I don't know about you, but my money's back to Sony. Of course, I already had my pre-order put in, but they refunded me because they gave an indefinite amount of time delay to the game for the second or third time.
It's coming June. It's going to be here June 19th. You know, with these spoilers and the plot being revealed, and you know, it's got to come out June 19th. Whether it's digital, whether it's hard copy, it's coming. So if you want to, whoever, it's up to you if you want to play it. It's up to you if you just want to go off the leaks. It's up to you. You know, just give it a chance, man. Just, I don't know. I'm going to play it. You know, just I enjoyed the first game. You know, we can take it back and we can start at the beginning.
Right.
We can start with how Naughty Dog did the first game, with the character building, with the relationship between Joel and Ellie, bringing in Tess, giving you a character building with her, and then taking her away, and then introducing a new character with Bill, and then you like Bill, and then you got Sam and Henry, and their tragic ending. You know, Naughty Dog knew what they were doing. They had two great writers with Neil Druckmann, Bruce Stanley, and they killed it, man.
I know.
And now we have Last of Us
I'm
2.
really disappointed that Bruce Stanley is not going to play at least a co-writer on The Last of Us 2.
So your new co-writer is Haley Gross, a Westworld writer with, you know, if you watch Westworld, you know, it does huge. A lot of people love it. I started liking it, and then I didn't. And I can kind of, from what I've seen, I've watched about every leak there is. You know, I hear about the time jumps, and I think, you know, that's kind of her writing style.
Right.
You know, so I may see a lot of her writing in The Last of Us 2.
Let me pose this question really quick. Do you think The Last of Us 2, and I know you said you played Uncharted 4 in the past, the previous Naughty Dog game, right?
Yes.
Do you think it's kind of be like where the Nathan Drake went back to his childhood? Do you think that's a possibility? Where we're gonna see Joel go back to his childhood?
Is it the cast? When you want to look up the cast, you know, to see who's in the movie, it's IDBM, right? That's the cast, kind of a cast reference. So I seen IDBM. I seen it didn't have a picture of because it's a minor, but it said Joel as 15, Joel as 16, 15,
so
16,
what you're saying is IBDM or IBDM, like
you can go there and look at the cast of The Last of Us 2.
You can look at the cast of The Last of Us 2, and it's giving you multiple
agents for Joel.
Right. So
I think 15, 16, and it may be another one. You know, it may be 12 and 9.
So the presumption we're making right now is there going to be multiple voice actors for Joel. So that means we're going back in time. So we're going to be doing the time jumps that you have seen in that show with Haley Gross, Westworld, implemented into The Last of Us Part 2. That's what you're saying.
I've seen, yes, Westworld has time jumps and flashbacks of some sort. But I want to bring up something. I want to bring up you live here. You got your mod here. He's saying, but there's no point in going back to Joel's childhood. If they're going to flashback, it's probably going to go back to when Sarah was alive. Hey, that's a good point. You got a good point there. I agree with you there. What do we need to go back to see Joel in his childhood for? Like, what does that? What relation does that have?
And the thing is, I don't see a point in it either. Personally, as a consumer, I really do not like when there's multiple time jumps. I feel like it's lazy writing. I feel like they're running out of ideas. That's personally what I'm feeling. So they have to take a character at their current age, where they are right now in life, and backtrack. If they wanted us to know that story, why didn't they just start there?
Okay, let me,
right? What do you think about that?
You could have a point there. Let me bring up this. What did you think about the time jumps in the DLC Left Behind? With the relation with showing you going back, because you know for a long time people wondered how did Ellie get bit.
Right.
I myself, I want to know how she got bit.
Right.
So without that time jump, without going back and showing us how she got bit.
Okay.
So you see what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's a good. Okay, that's a good devil's advocate. Okay, I will give you that.
That was also to a character that we already had grown attachment to.
But listen,
had more questions for.
Tell me this right now. That Left Behind DLC could have easily been in The Last of Us Part 1 story mode, no DLC. Just could have shipped on the disc, right? Do you think that?
Up to the point where she's taking care of Joel.
Do you think?
How would that fit? Hold on, let me say. How would that fit Riley into that? You know, and was she important?
Right.
Was she important too? You know what I mean? Was she important? What did we get from her?
Right.
Besides her being with Ellie when she got bit, we found out that's somebody else that Ellie has losses in her life too, with Riley. You know, that was her best friend. They got a connection when Ellie got moved to Boston to the military school. So you know, I don't know. I did kind of like to see how she was able to take care of Joel, but you know, that man could have been squeezed in there without Riley. You know.
Hey, Ende, do you want to put some gameplay in the background with like a private match? What do you think about that?
I'm not live right now. I'm just in the party with you.
Yeah, do you want to put us in a private match with the game leader?
Yeah, we'll let's conversate for another 10-15 minutes, then we'll jump in the game.
All right, we can do that. Now, you mentioned you mentioned the fact that Ellie had losses in her life, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering...
Well, one that I know of, Riley.
Definitely. There's Marlene, there's Riley. What about her mother?
Marlene, Riley.
What do you think about her mother?
Anna.
Before all this leaks, like these game-breaking leaks that came out, there was speculation that there was pictures of people, a mystery woman, where people thought that this woman in the picture was somehow Ellie's mom that was still alive.
No, that's, you know, there's a recording. You brought this up too, me and you just playing a game. Me and we play factions. You brought this up. Why would Marlene grab a recorder and say how she misses Anna? Wish you were here. Ellie, she'll be with you soon. What she said. Why would she bring that up and lie to herself in that recorder, knowing Anna's, you know? So Anna's dead, guys. She's not. We know who the mystery woman is now. It's not Anna. We all know that. So.
I'm gonna put a little context to this situation. We're in the Firefly compound where in the hospital Joel saves Ellie from the doctors that are about to kill her. Correct. Well, if you search around, there is a voice recorder where Marlene is talking to herself, and she basically says, "I wish you were still here," right? And when she's saying that, she's insinuating to Ellie's mother that I wish you were here, but you're not because you have passed away. Now, what Ende is saying is, why would Marlene say this to herself if Ellie's mother is still alive? She's not. She's dead. Like, she's confirmed dead right in that voice recording when she's talking to herself. There's no reason that in that voice recorder she would be lying to herself. So there's people that were saying that pre-leak, pre-spoiler, that in these screenshots that Naughty Dog put out, that Ellie's mom is still alive and that she would still be in The Last of Us Part 2. It's not correct.
Right. So, yeah, and plus, you know, by now, and you know, without any spoilers, most people, if you watch the leaks, you know who people were speculating who Anna was is not Anna. You know who that is now. I don't want to say too much because Spray The last spray has not seen any leaks, guys. So don't put any leaks in his comment section, guys.
Right.
Please be courteous. He don't know much. He don't know much at all. And what he's told me that he thinks he knows, he was off a little bit. And I was glad to hear that. I don't want him being spoiled. I spoiled it. If you have to leave comments, you can go leave it on my channel.
Shout out N-Day. He got 500 subscribers right now. He's only 2 months in, man. He's doing great. If you want to go support an original content creator, it would definitely be him over some of those guys you talk over Last of Us and they're not even playing it, man. I mean, he's playing grounded mode close to every day. He's playing factions. These people that are making Last of Us content, man, they don't even pick up the game anymore, bro. It has dust on the game. So if you want to support a creator, definitely go over to N-Day's channel. Check him out.
You know, we're just talking. We're just having thoughts. If you disagree, that's great. We'd love to see the comments. Tell us what you disagree about. We'd love to talk to you about it. Leave it in the comment, and you know, we can speak about it.
Yeah, definitely. We love constructive criticism. We're trying to make these podcasts better. We're just on the brink of it, you know. We're only on our 3rd podcast. You think about all the most successful podcasts in the world, Joe Rogan Experience. He's on his 1,150th podcast, man. You know, we're just starting out. So
yeah, we're having fun, man.
Yeah, we're having fun right now. We're gonna get there, but you gotta enjoy the process, okay?
Now let's talk moving forward a little bit. Let's talk The Last of Us 2. Let's talk people not wanting to buy the game. People going off.
Right.
I want to know what people are not happy about. Are they happy about the fate of our characters? Are they not happy about what's being shoved down our throat? Is it both?
It's a mixture of both.
Why don't you want to play the game? What is it? You know, I know what it is for me. You know, I don't want to go no further than that, but what is it? Why don't you want to play this game? Is it from what you've seen? I mean, we haven't played it yet, so are we judging it by not playing it? Are we judging it off these leaks?
It's definitely a prejudgment. It's it's almost like a prejudice, but you know, that's just human nature, bro. People judge things that they know nothing about, and they just put a precursor to things. That's how it is. But at the same time, you see Last of Us 2 trending April 28th, 29th on the Google Trends. It's just shooting up, right? And you know why? It's because there's content creators out there that are taking advantage of a situation and saying, thank you, Naughty Dog, for letting the plot being able to be released early, because this plot is not what I expected. It's not what The Last of Us Part 1 expected, and I'm not going to buy the game. You saved me $60. And this is not me saying this. Type The Last of Us 2 in YouTube, and you will scroll down the list of videos that say, Last of Us plot trash. The Last of Us plot is not good.
They're saying that today, but come June 19th, let me go back to the Ellie and Dina kiss. I want to go back to that. I want to go back to
oh, you're taking it way back. You're taking it pre-spoiler.
Well, we can go back a little further than that. We can go back to the Ellie and Riley kiss if you want to. There's a little bit on that. Everybody, you know, we didn't see that coming. I didn't think no big deal about it. But anyway, let's jump back to the Ellie and Dina kiss. When these two kissed, it blew up everywhere. You know, the last of the lesbians, the last of this, people come out the woodwork. Well, the same people that was talking down on that kiss, you can go back to their videos, go back to their channel a year later, 2 years later, and they're hyping up the game. So is that what we're going to see? Is that what we're going to see come June 19th? These people talking down on the game are going to be streaming this game.
Talking down about the game are the same people putting the pre-orders in right now.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm playing the game. I'm playing the game. I want to see if there's any character building. I want to get to know Dina. I want to get to know what is it about her that Ellie likes. I want to get to know Jesse's role in the game. More on Tommy, more on Maria.
Right.
I'm curious, is Dill in the game? I want to see how they build these characters.
Right.
Is there points in this plot I don't like? Well, from what I've seen mostly yes, there is. There's a lot of things I don't like. But it's not going to stop me from playing the game. I'm going to play the game, and I'm going to try to be open-minded about the game, and I'm going to try to see what their point is, and if I disagree with it, that's fine.
Right.
If I like it, that's fine too, but I want to play the game. I want to see what's going to happen, man. I mean, I kind of already know what's going to happen, but I want to go on this journey and try to get lost in this game. I want to explore this world, linear, left, right, north, east, south. I'm going everywhere.
So pretty much what you're saying is online, the consensus is people do not like the plot, but at the same time, these people that are getting backlash are also putting in pre-orders, and also on June 19th, they're going to be playing, they're going to be streaming, they're going to be uploading content, because you know why? Because this game is a Naughty Dog game, and they've been working on this for close to 8 years, and you know why? This game is going to look like it's like a live-action movie shot, okay? This is going to be looking like nothing you've ever seen before on the PS4 Pro and going into the PS5, okay? This is different. This is the type of game you buy and you play and you feel like, hey, look, that $60 I just spent, I got every dollar worth that I spent on this game.
And well, from my understanding, this game's huge. There's going to be, and I'm also excited to see, hey, let's forget all that. There's going to be trophy, to me, I'm a trophy hunter when I play. I like to get platinum these games. So after I beat the game, that gives me something else to go back and do, man. I get to find these conversations, find Ellie's comic books. I'm into that stuff too. A lot of people may not be into trophies. Personally, I like to go back and explore every inch of The Last of Us.
And you were telling me off the script that The Last of Us Part 2 is going to be about 4 times the game length as The Last of Us Part 1 was.
Yeah, it could be around 30-40 hours from what I understand. It's going to be huge. This game's going to be
And to put that in comparison, you
that's with cutscenes and everything.
Yeah, right. You can complete The Last of Us Part 1 in about 10 hours.
Yeah, with cutscenes, 10, 12 hours.
3 hours if you're speed running, right?
I played it on Easter Sunday, skipping some cutscenes, and I think I got through it about 6 hours on easy mode, just kind of kick back. I ran live, and I got through it about 6 hours.
Yeah, Hassan, I really agree with you. It is really hard for a sequel to be better than its predecessor, but that's just the nature of it. We got to respect the art, and we got to respect the direction that the lead writers took on this, and at the end of the day, we're just going to respect that they put a lot of time and effort into making this art for us, and we got to just try our best to see their vision. Doesn't mean I'm going to like it. I got to go in there with an open mind, because as you know, I haven't watched near any of the spoilers, so I'm going to go there with an empty mind and enjoy the experience, the cinematic experience. Because like Ende was saying, he was saying this off the record, but you could get your family together while you play one of these games. And I know he's not the only one to say that. People have said that about the Uncharted series before. You can get your family and watch these games while you play it, and it hits cinematic cutscenes, and they can enjoy it like it is a movie.
Oh yeah, mention that. Me and my wife, she's a huge Last of Us fan too. We started this channel together playing The Last of Us.
These releases can really bring people together, and that's essentially what people need right now.
She's excited for it too,
This is what people need right now in this time of quarantine.
Right. So, yeah, I'm excited for the game.
Me too.
I'm excited for the game, regardless of what I've seen, regardless of what I know. My heart broken from maybe what I've seen, yeah. But I'm playing this game, guys. If you don't want to play it, that's up to you. But I'm playing the game, guys. Hey, I'm playing it.
Have you put in your? Did you get the deluxe edition? Or are you just getting
the? Yet. I'm gonna get the deluxe edition because I like the art, the fan art. And I have to look, I think there's some other, you get some, there's other things that come with it. But yeah, I'm gonna wait probably 30 days, 15 days before the release, and then I'll pre-order it. Yeah, your mod, he's definitely playing it.
Yeah, my mod definitely holds it down, man. He is the best. We're gonna play with him soon. I added him on my my PSN account. Yeah, anyone else in the live stream, definitely just shoot me over your PSN. We play factions. We play a little bit of single player. Even hop on the podcast too if you want, man. We're just we could share ideas. We're just talking things through. I can't wait till this game comes out so we can be talking over some gameplay. I know The Last of Us Part 1, Ende was streaming some of that earlier. We could do a little bit of that, but we're really just feeling ourselves out right now, seeing what is the best medium to host this podcast over.
And guys, listen, if you want to check my channel out, it's Ende. I'm still fairly new, so if you type in Ende, it don't pop up. If you type in Ende, The Last of Us, it'll come up.
You can do that, or I put Ende in my subscription box. You can go check him out. He's linked on my YouTube channel. You can definitely find him through there.
I go live maybe once a day, a few hours a day, playing The Last of Us, DayZ. These type of games interest me, so that's what I play.
He likes the post-apocalyptic genre.
I like zombie games, man.
Yep.
Zombie games.
Yep.
Zombie gaming. But yeah. So what's next? What do we have next on the list?
I think that's funny. Hassan says, Naughty Dog to the employee who leaked the game, be like, you're treading on mighty thin ice here. Man, that's the last person I would want to be right now. The person
the guy who leaked the game?
The person who leaked Sony's AAA title.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but they're saying this dev leaked this game over money issues?
Over a payment issue.
Okay, now how do they know this? Has he come out and said this? I mean, who has said this? Where did they get this information from?
This sounds like some type of Reddit type post. This is probably something that came out of Reddit.
So to be clear, we don't really know the issue, why they leaked the game.
Right.
They're just assuming this is
We're assuming it's a payment issue. We're assuming that there's been a hostile work environment at Naughty Dog due to some people disagreeing with the plot. We're agreeing that we've heard on personal accounts from websites like Kotaku reporting on that Naughty Dog has been, pushing these game developers 70, 80-hour work weeks and criticizing if people leave the office early. That's what we're going on right now.
I did see a post, I don't know if it's true. I probably shouldn't even say it because I don't, but it said 7% of Naughty Dog's team has left.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that too. They're saying,
you think it's over is it over the game, you think, or is it over payment?
Listen, they're saying that the creative directors, the game developers, the graphic art designers, 70% of the staff that worked on Uncharted 4 are gone. So
wow.
all of that talent that went into producing these games have moved on. What does that tell you? Is that a type of work environment that is going to be producing the best possible game with all this revolving door type turnover in the studio?
If this is true, this isn't good, man. I mean,
no,
these guys are in there working, crunching. They're doing their job, man. You got to pay these guys.
It's not good.
If you owe them, pay them. I mean,
right.
I can see where his anger and frustration. If this is true, I can see where his anger and frustration come from. But leaking the game, man.
Right.
You
have to think how much money you probably cost Sony over leaking this game.
Well, let's don't look at it as money. Let's look at it like this. You leaked it. The fans got leaked on. Your team, man, the other guys that you was working for that don't control your pay. These guys are working hard too, and then you leaked it on them too, man. You know,
right.
So hey,
I definitely think it's a big blow. All right.
This guy did what he felt he had to do if this is possible.
Right. It seems like a little bit of retaliation. I see what you're getting at. But you have to see, there's people on YouTube that are saying this is the biggest blow of the past 10 years for a leaked game before its release.
Wow, it's The Last of Us 2,
yeah,
man.
It's The Last of Us 2. Huge. They're saying this is a big blunder. This is like fumbling on the 1 yard line, man. That's what people
That's
are saying.
huge. Yeah,
And you know,
making Last of Us
listen,
2 is
I kind of
insane.
agree with it, man.
You agree with him?
I agree with
Wait,
it because the way Neil Druckmann is portraying himself on Twitter, the way how arrogant he is, I don't agree with it.
Right. And when it was supposed to come out, when it didn't reach,
It was supposed to already be out.
He had a tweet where it may not have been the May 29th release date. It may have been the one before that. I can't remember what it was, but he's like, he tweeted, something's missing today. Like, it's funny to him that the game wasn't. I didn't like that, man. You know, so something's missing today. You know, The Last of Us 2 didn't come out. You know, that's what he was referring to.
Man, that's like poking the bear right there, man.
That's
like
poking the bear, man. That's
they
poking
are
the bear.
listen, they are so lucky that they have a game that is almost like too big to fail.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like most gamers, if they come across something like that, they make the development company pay. You know how they do it? They just say, you know what, I'm not buying the game this year.
Right.
They've done this with.
There's going to be people out there that's really going to stand behind their guns and not buy this game. You know, there's going to be guys out there. You know, I say guys. You know, people that are not going to buy this game. But then you're going to have the class of people that just want to, you know, somebody's getting made fun of. They want to jump in and make fun of them too. They don't want to be made fun of. Those guys are going to be, you know, they're going to say this today, but come the 19th, they're playing the game. You're going to have some hardcore guys that are like, I'm not buying this. And then you got the ones that are just on the bandwagon.
Well, you see,
they're going to buy it.
The hardcore Last of Us fans are going to be buying the game, right?
Right.
But what you're getting at right now is you're saying that the casuals.
No, there may be some hardcores out there that don't want to buy the game.
You might be right about that. You might be right.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm saying, like, a majority of the hardcores that play the...
Probably going to get the game.
Yeah, they're probably going to get the game.
Right.
But what are really turned away is the casuals that are able to look through the plot. If they have any preconceived notions, they're going to be like, I've already seen what the game's laid out, and you know I'm not dishing that.
Right. I seen a comment on a YouTube channel that they said that they don't even play the game, but they're having a good time going around and dropping the spoiling the game too. So you got these type of people out here too. You know, if you bring pleasure in your life by doing stuff like that, man, I feel sorry for you, man. I really do, man. I don't want to ruin the game for nobody, no matter how. If I was upset with them or not, I still would want to spoil it, man. But
yeah, I mean, you know, that's a certain type of people that's out there.
Right.
You just got to be wary of it, but it's a shame, man. It really is. I mean, I can go over some of the plot points that I thought was happening, but you've told me, you know, it's not really. I know about 2% of what's going on, so I'm still. I got my my head in the sand a little bit. I can go over.
You did a good job dodging these spoilers. Me, on the other hand, I didn't do a good. I fell right into them.
So you know, I could pretty much give everyone a precursor of what I thought was going on, and then you can give me your take on what I said. So obviously, we've seen the Dina, and we've seen the Ellie trailer.
How do you want me to answer this though? Because if I answer it, I don't want to give you an answer that's going to spoil the game for you.
You know, you don't have to give me an answer that spoils the game for me.
Okay.
But you can give me an answer where you say you're warm, you're cold. You know what I'm saying? You ever play that game? You're warm. You're warm. You're getting hot. You're getting hot. Oh, you're on fire.
Let's see. Let's see what you think you know so far.
So, as someone, let me pitch this question to you. As someone who's seen some spoilers, who has seen some leaks, to someone who is just taking official Naughty Dog trailers, right, and trying to piece together what he knows, what do you think of what this working theory I have?
All right, let's hear it.
So, we've seen the trailers with Dina and Ellie. They got a romantic relationship together.
Right.
Personally, I've heard that Dina has an ex-boyfriend, right? And that he's kind of like the third, and there's a possibility of Dina and this ex getting back together.
No.
And
Cold.
so I'm cold on that. All right,
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
I believe so.
Okay. So I kind of get happy when you tell me I'm on the wrong trail, right?
Right. Yeah.
I'm happy. All right.
I don't want you. I do not want you to get this game ruined, spoiled, man.
All right. So I'm hearing there might be some transformation from a female character to a male character in the game. I'm hearing there might be some LGBTQ issues in the game, which I'm fine with. I don't have a problem with, but
I read something like that, but I don't know how true that is, and how insane that would be, and how would you even go about doing that?
How would you be able to go about doing that in a post-apocalyptic world? Listen, I don't have a problem with it. Don't get me wrong with it.
You're gonna pay for it with chicken legs and chicken eggs and
nah, bro, you're gonna pay. Listen, you're gonna pay
for that.
You're gonna pay for it with some blues, some supplies, dude.
With ration cards. So
yeah,
they got ration cards.
Definitely.
I mean, yeah, that's insane. I don't know if that's true. I don't think that's true. But
oh, and another thing,
funny to read.
Man, Joel looks way too old in this game. In the trailers that I've seen.
Wait, let me look at it. Man, see this right here. This is something. Okay, I seen some gameplay of Joel where he doesn't look much older than he does in The Last of Us 2, and then there's that clip of him saying, I'm not gonna let you do this on your own, where he looks like he's 60.
Right.
So what I seen could have been a flashback of maybe Ellie when she's 16, 17. So that wouldn't. I'd still put Joel a couple years, but I don't know how you would age that much and look that weathered.
Right.
Give me a second.
So that I don't know.
Listen, there's only like what, a 5-year time jump between the two games?
Right. Because in some of the gameplay footage I've seen of Joel, he doesn't look much different than he does in The Last of Us.
And this is kind of touching on how we think there might be 3 voice actors for Joel, but there's no way he's looking that old, like he's 60 years old or 55, right?
Yeah, he looked rough. He looked plus they're in that universe you may age, you're age.
You might be a little rugged. Right.
Right. He looked weathered, man.
You might look dusty.
You look dusty, man.
You look dusty.
Weathered, so the footage I seen of him, he didn't look much older.
Okay.
That footage is out there. You can look for it yourself. You got the clip where he looks old as dirt. So who knows? Who knows? So moving forward.
Right.
Fuck. I'm down.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad I've been cold soon, man. So I'm just getting things wrong.
You've avoided so much. I mean, it's to the point now where you can't.
I'm telling you, it's really just it's putting my head in the sand and saying I really don't want to know until my game is downloading and I'm starting it up and I'm playing it.
Right. It's got to the point now where you can't even type in Tulu. You can't type in The Last of Us. You can't type in anything.
No, and that's what I was talking about, where more people than just Last of Us creators are covering this right now because this is big.
Right.
Like this goes beyond the Last of Us 2 community.
And guys, look, we still got 50-something days to go.
Yeah. Like, we are nowhere near, okay? And especially because a lot of people are staying home orders right now. A lot of people are quarantined. The days are longer now, okay? Listen. Trust me, days are long.
Right. So in order for you to avoid these spoilers, Spade, for the next 50-something days, that's a job in itself. I mean...
Oh, yeah. For sure.
You're going to have guys come in these comments. I know you like to search up things on YouTube. You like to research the last.
Oh yeah, I love it. I mean,
You're
come
gonna
on, man.
basically have to stay offline, brother.
Listen, I make Last of Us content on YouTube, man. It's hard to avoid. Trust me. It's like
Exactly.
here. This is how I'll describe it. When I'm looking stuff up, it's just like I can't even read. I just have to scroll. Like I just zone out on the content because
they don't.
I know once I'm
hide it. It's
yeah.
right there.
No, you didn't. It's not hiding it at all. I think I've touched on this with you before. Listen, you type in Last of Us 2 on Google. You don't even type leak. You don't even type spoil. What comes up is their URLs. And it goes to Reddit, goes to YouTube, and it just has complete spoilers right off the bat. You can see them in the description before you click on the URL.
Right.
There's no avoiding it.
No. And there's still people out there that probably, you know, the casuals, like you said, you know, there's probably there's maybe people out there too that haven't even come across this game yet, and they find interest in it. Immediately, it's getting spoiled.
Oh yeah. What a shame.
So, you know,
Isn't it a shame? It's a big shame.
Man. What a shame. You know, this guy did what he felt he had to do. Whatever. I don't judge. I ain't judging. If that's what he felt he had to do, hey, that's fine. I didn't try to avoid the spoilers.
Right.
When I seen them, I went looking for it because I wanted to I wanted to see something. The first couple I went through,
And
this ain't that bad.
For people out there that want to see the spoilers, I don't blame you for that. This game should have been out in December. There should have been no spoiler at all. Okay?
Right.
That is my
and
position.
Good luck avoiding it.
Yeah, exactly. That is my position on all this spoiler controversy. That's the only thing I have to say about it. This game should have already been out. There shouldn't have been a problem. Listen, I don't feel bad for these people. It should have been out. If there wouldn't have been all this mismanagement, this game would have been in our hands. We'd be playing it right now. We'd be playing multiplayer. We'd be making content on it. But no.
Right.
So I feel like, you know, you reap what you sow. Okay? They've shown us what, you know, they're going to do to people who've been waiting so long, so patiently, and supporting their franchise.
And I know Naughty Dog are perfectionists, but man, listen, you had 7 years, man. Let's
Right.
get the game out, man.
We know you start right after you have a hit, okay? It's not like
Right. And why
you've
even
only
have the
had 3
reveal?
years.
Why even have the reveal if you don't even if you don't even see the finish line yet?
And
Wait
listen,
until you at least see the
exactly.
finish line, then have the reveal.
Exactly. And I know these are cats and dogs right here that I'm about to try and compare. But to put it in perspective, Call of Duty is able to make a whole different game in just 1 year, right? A whole new franchise. It's not a new franchise, but completely different maps, completely different guns, completely different mechanics. I know Last of Us and Call of Duty are not the same, but I'm just trying to say the possibilities of where someone can make a game that is the #1 selling game every single year. Why was Last of Us fumbled at the 1-yard line and treated like it was nothing? Okay? That's the question I have to pose. And anyone in the comments that could help me answer that.
The first one was such a masterpiece, man. I was hoping the second one, you know, we still got to play it too, you know. We still got to play this game, guys. We still got to play it. We haven't played it. We've seen some footage. You know, most of the footage is under a few minutes. We got to play this game, guys. You need to play it, then judge it. You know, the road. We got to go down this road, guys. I'm a little biased, I know, but we got to play this game, guys. We got to travel the road with them and see what happens. And then we can say what we feel. You know, some of y'all may want to wait for reviews. That's fine. But we got to play the game, man.
Oh wait, yeah, that's a good topic there. Have you seen any like reviews on the game? Because I know like Game Informer, Kotaku, there's a whole bunch of game outlets. Have they said anything?
No, I haven't
besides
seen
like
anything.
leaks, like your game's leaked, this, that.
No, I haven't looked into it. I haven't seen any reviews. I don't know if the review copies went out yet, or if they are. I don't know.
Right.
Normally they do, right? I mean, everybody reviews. I mean, most games get reviewed. So
yeah.
I don't know.
All games get reviewed.
I don't know that. There's some good review channels out there. Maybe we have to look into it. But right now, people's just reviewing the leaks.
Well, we
So,
gotta
most
review what's
people
out
mind
there,
that
right?
the game was at least 3 or 4 days ago. You know, the main plots anyway.
Right.
But I just wish the original writers would have been part of this. You know, maybe things would have been different.
I mean, it just doesn't make sense. You're right.
I'm
So
not a fan of Haley Gross at all.
you take something that works, and you want to make a sequel, and you removed an aspect of it that helped and worked toward a success. Like personally,
Right.
it just doesn't make sense to me. Like looking at it like quantitatively, like it just doesn't. I don't get it.
And you know, here's the thing too.
I want to look up on Google right now what is the reason why the Stanley was not on the game, or wasn't at least giving feedback
know why he
to the
left.
plot.
I don't know why he left. I do know that there was a tweet from Druckmann
'Cause-
that said, "Hey, what are you doing? Get over here and help us finish this game." I
'Cause
think
he-
he went to another developer. He may have went to another company. I don't know.
Because usually when
But
someone
man, them two
starts
wrote a
like such an
masterpiece, man.
ambitious project like this, they usually see it through. You
Why?
know what I mean?
Why would he walk away from that game, man?
I don't know.
I mean, that game was them guys. That game was you know. It wasn't explosive or nothing like it. What I'm talking about is the character building.
But it was
How they led you to
definitely
care for
like,
these characters.
yeah. It was definitely genre defining. You know what I mean?
Right. Some people say, well, you know, it wasn't a masterpiece. In my mind, I love that game, guys. I think it's a great game.
Yeah.
And the character
Yeah.
building and how they sucked you into caring for Ellie and Joel, and how they built up the relationship from Joel not knowing Ellie, and you know, it just made for a great game. Let's say the story was a masterpiece. If you don't like the controls, the game, if you didn't like the movements or whatever, but as far as the story goes, man, that was a great story, man.
Right.
So, and they'll never top that. I mean,
No.
you'll never top the
I mean,
original. on
that
anything.
goes with everything. I mean,
That's everything, guys.
The
I
first
didn't
is
expect for
always
it to
the
be better
best.
I didn't expect for it to be better, but what I did expect is for it to continue their journey, and that I don't think we're going to get.
Right.
That's what I was hoping for, another Joel and Ellie expedition.
I was really
For
thinking it was going to be on the
whatever.
same. We're basically saying, or at least I am. We thought we're picking up right from where we left off.
Right. Which
That's
we
not-
still may be. We don't
Uh,
know where we're picking up at.
That's
right?
not the
right?
that's not the case. I mean, we got a time jump, right?
Right, right. We don't know where we're picking up. Hey, the game may start with them looking into Jackson and us walking down there. We don't know. We haven't seen the beginning.
All right.
But I understand the point you're trying to make.
I guess it just goes to the grope I have like instantly, where I just don't like time jumps. I don't like having dreams where I got to play them out, or you know, having lapses of time, or going back in time to do something. Like, if it was that essential, why am I not just doing it before?
Right.
I don't know.
We're gonna have I know you're not a big fan of time jumps. We've talked about this, playing some factions and
Right.
parties. I'm not a big fan of them. If it can bring something to the table, sure, let's
Yeah.
do it.
So yeah, you made that good point where the Left Behind brings something to the table, right? But I don't
It
think it's
showed
gonna.
us Ellie caring for Joel. It showed us what happened after Joel fell and landed on the rebar, which was insane. It brought in Riley a little bit. It kind of showed Ellie's sexuality, how she was feeling.
Right.
So we learned a little bit more about Ellie in that time jump, which we wouldn't have learned. But like you said, could that have been put in the game? Possibly. But I was happy to get the DLC, man. I was excited when that DLC dropped. I hope they do one for Joel.
What I was trying to
We get a
say.
Joel 20 years earlier with him and Tommy surviving in Boston. That's
There is
what
a
I
possibility
wanna see
that Left Behind DLC was in the game originally, and it was cut out to save time or to save space.
No, it wasn't. I seen an interview with him where that definitely came later.
You think
That
so?
definitely came later.
So
Yeah,
it
that
was
came
definitely
later.
that's definitely
That kind of
confirmed.
ties into the the school, the military school. I don't know how much of the comics you read, but that also ties into the comics also.
Okay.
So I believe it's the American Daughter or American Dream comics, I believe, or something like that. I don't know the exact title for it, but I've watched the some videos, some audio videos of of the comics. But that definitely brought a little bit to the table. I felt, and I was excited to play it. I was excited to get something new from The Last of Us. I thought it was over. You know, I didn't think we'd ever see it again. And then here we are.
You didn't think we'd ever see it again?
I wasn't sure. I mean,
right.
You know, so much time had went by, and then when I seen, I think was it the Paris game week? I think that's when it was released.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was excited, man. I was excited. And when I seen that Firefly logo on that stop sign, boy, I was like, this a hitter, boy. Let's go.
Let's go.
I was ready for that hitter, boy.
I'm right there with you, man. I just wish it was in our hands already.
I don't want to get into this right now, but the next one we do, I want to talk about Factions 2, man.
Oh, that is a hot topic in the community. Have you seen what...
I want to talk about what we would like to see in it.
Right. Give us some speculation on it.
Right. I want to talk about Factions 2. I want to talk about that. I want to see where that's going to... I want to play that. That's where my excitement is.
That is where the longevity of the game comes.
Factions 1 is the lifeblood that kept... Besides the story mode, but Factions kept the community together.
Yeah, it was definitely the red blood cell of the game. Right.
But, you know, here's another thing, too. It's almost... Could you say it's a separate community? Would that be fair?
I could say that. That is definitely fair to say, because I've met a lot of players, and these are prominent players that play this game almost every day, and I'll be like...
Played story mode.
Never played story mode, and it takes me back. Like, what do you mean? Like, how have you been playing Factions for this amount of time, and you've never played this main storyline?
Well, I played the story many times before I even got into Factions.
Exactly, so, but people are doing this vice versa. They've never even played the campaign.
Right. There's a pretty big Factions YouTuber. I'm not going to say his name, but he's amazing. He's really good, guys, and he's never played the story mode. He even said it in his broadcast. Yeah, he's never played story.
Never played story. It makes me like want to unsubscribe. I don't want to be that petty,
this dude is insane. He's insane on Factions and never played the story.
Never played the story, man.
Broadcast. Never played the story. Somebody in his live asked him. I may be going off what you told me.
No, it was definitely true. I mean, I was there for it. There's YouTubers out there who make content on this game, make money off this game, and they haven't even played the story, you guys.
Right. Like, so what we could say is it could possibly be a separate community.
It definitely is a separate community.
You know, we play with a guy that's really good. Shout out Gooner. And you know, I was talking to him and through Messenger yesterday, and he said story mode first. You know, he's a great Factions player.
Right.
And he's story mode first.
I don't know. It just really depends on your personality type, I guess. Because there's plenty of people on different games.
In our next discussion, we're going to be discussing Factions 2. What we want to see, what we hope to see. Is it coming? Is it going to be a standalone? Is it going to be in the game? But me and Spray have a disagreement on that. He thinks it's going to be in the game. I think it's going to come after the game. So we'll get to debate that a little bit. And, you know, that's really all I have to say tonight. I'm ready to get on some Factions, man. So what do you say, Spray? You about ready to wrap this up?
Yeah, son.
You got anything else you want to bring
I'm trying to say is, don't worry, I believe your friend. He's talking about the Joel scene, your favorite scene.
Oh, the interrogation scene?
Yeah, interrogation scene.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I believe your friend.
Yeah. Where's the girl? I don't know no girl.
I don't know no girl.
She's David's newest pet. Man, I love such an intense scene, man. Joel is such a badass, guys.
That's what he said. He
already
said
know
it is
this.
badass.
You already know this. And what I really want to see, too, is Joel and Tommy.
Oh yeah, that is
as-
something I want to get into because that's not much.
What were
We
they,
haven't.
hunters, smugglers, survivors? I want to know what Joel and Tommy were up to in those 20 years, man.
We haven't
in
seen
Boston.
much of that at all. That is still a big mystery, man.
And it may come. It may come in the DLC.
I'm
It may
hoping.
come.
Yeah, I am definitely hoping we get instead
When
of like
Tommy
an.
said,
We get
I
some
had
missions
nothing but
where
nightmares.
of those
you know,
years.
the language he chose to use in that sentence. Nothing but nightmares from those
Nothing but
years.
night bows from those years.
And then it was also brought up again in Bill's town when Bill said it ain't the infected I fear, it's the living. And he said, Joe, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So Joel was a survivor. It was brought up a few times, I believe, and that it was brought up in Pittsburgh. Ellie brought up when Joel said he was been on both sides of the when they came into Pittsburgh and they set the trap, and then later
Right.
they were going through the buildings, and she said, "How did you know that was a setup?" He said, "I've been on both sides." So, you know, it was brought up a few times in The Last of Us. So I would love to see that, and I hope they do that. I hope they give us that at some point. I would
Well,
love to see Joel and Tommy. Tommy's an amazing character, man. Tommy,
know-
you know,
definitely. And we got to
Yeah.
remember, we all love Joel, but this is pretty much Joel but younger, right?
what's that?
Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy,
This is Joel but younger,
Look,
same blood.
same blood as his brother. So
Right.
yeah, you know, and he said, I took care of you all those years, and you know, he said, I got